Hello internet world, welcome to a new video on the Geekanoids channel. I've spent the last week testing this. This is the Zyxel Multy Plus tri-band mesh Wi-Fi system, and I've been having some really good results with it. And during this video, I'm going to show you the actual product, let you know the specifications, and let you know why you should consider switching over to a mesh Wi-Fi type system for your home or business internet access. Now, just to let you know that Zyxel sent me out this so that I could actually do this video. They didn't ask me to say any particular thing, so all the opinions shared within this video are my own. Now, this particular kit consists of two. You can see I've got one here sitting on my desk, one sitting up here, and the product boxes are this sort of plain brown colour. They come with an outer sleeve, keeping the two boxes together. Now, the specifications are that this is obviously tri-band, and it offers up different maximum sort of speeds or data throughput depending on which band you're actually connected to. So we've got a 5 gigahertz band with up to 1733 megabits per second with a dedicated backhaul. We've also got 5 gigahertz up to 867 megabits per second and a 2.4 gigahertz up to 400 megabits per second. Now, each of these has a gigabit WAN port on it. It also has 3 gigabit Ethernet ports and a USB 2 port. They've got 4 gigabytes of eMMC memory in there and 512 megabytes of RAM. There are 9 antennas in each, and you also have a business grade internet security feature on here with a 30-day free trial, and they offer up the relevant encryption. I think it's WPA2 encryption on here as well. Setup and management is done via web browser. There is also an app. So that's the specs covered. Don't normally do specs in my videos, do I? A little bit of a treat for you. Before I show you the actual products themselves, of which this video is going to be mainly positive. There is just one thing I wasn't too keen on, but mainly positive. Let's have a look inside the live chat, because this is live. Peter Griffin, what's Gucci, my boy? It's all Gucci. Thank you very much for tuning in, Peter. If you're watching this live, obviously you can use the live chat. If you're watching after the live broadcast, use the regular comment section below. We've got a great community who chimes in the comment section, and I also pride myself on answering pretty much every comment. And also, if you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on my future videos. Now, each box or each kit, this one being a 2 unit kit, consists of the actual router itself. We also get, obviously, power supply inside the box, and then we get this, which is like like a desk stand for if you want to put it into an upright orientation. I'll come back to this in a short while, because that's the bit I wasn't overly impressed with. It's still good, but I wasn't overly impressed. As it stands though, the router's really nice, because we've got like this whole back section here is like rubberized, so when it's sitting in this sort of orientation, like flat on the desk, horizontal, then it stays where you put it. So very, very good indeed with the design of this foot. You'll also notice there's also a threaded mount on the bottom. Let me show you this a little bit closer. So there's also a threaded mount on the bottom of the unit, plus there's those 2 sort of cross type mounts as well, and plenty of ventilation, all these sort of ventilation holes in a nice pattern as well. Now, so you can actually mount it on a threaded mount, which is good. You've also got these sort of keyhole cross type mounts, which you actually use to mount it inside the horizontal stand, but you could also use these, put a couple of screws of the correct size in your wall or side of a bookcase, side of a desk, wherever you're going to mount it, and you can actually mount this sort of in a sort of vertical position on a wall. Really nice, like the way they've done that. Now, on the back we've got the input for the power supply, little reset switch, and then we've got 4 Ethernet sockets. One of these is a gigabit WAN socket. That's going to go into your modem router, and then the other 3 can be used for hardwiring other Ethernet devices on your network. And then we've got a USB 2 socket on the end. Now, how I use this, how I tested this, is I'm on Virgin Media broadband. Virgin Media supply a modem router, so they supply something that does the modem activity and the connection, and it also supplies the router duties as well, so it distributes the Wi-Fi. What I've done is I switch my Virgin Media Super Hub, as it's called, into modem only mode. So then all of the wireless and wired networking is taken over by the Zyxel Multy Plus. So this does all of the wireless duties and all of the Ethernet wired duties as well. Really easy to do. There's plenty of instructions online for how you can do that with your Virgin Media Super Hub, or indeed if you're with another supplier, then you want to just be using a modem only and let this do all of the distribution duties. That's it for the design on the back anyway, and all the ports. Coming around the front, you can see yet more sort of ventilation on the side, and then on the top, really nice design as well. And the Zyxel branding, of course, on the top. It's like this putty grey colour, so I think that's nicer than having a black box, and it also doesn't pick up dirt and fingerprints as much. And if this was white, I would worry about it sort of showing grime as well. Not that you handle these much, but you know, they can pick up fingerprints, and they can also go yellowing if they're white. So nice sort of putty grey colour. Of course, two, so one where the internet comes in, one in another floor or another room, and the mesh Wi-Fi, I've explained this in my previous videos, the mesh Wi-Fi sort of creates this seamless mesh that you can actually connect your devices to, thus the name mesh Wi-Fi. And instead of you having separate access points with separate IDs that you then have to go into your device and say, oh, connect to that one, or hope that it switches over, it should seamlessly switch. As you move around, you'll find that you get this seamless switch and it will connect to the strongest signal. So really good way of doing things. Now I wanted to actually show you this vertical stand. This is okay, it's okay. So it's made of plastic, of course. There's a rubberized foot on the bottom. There's the same sort of design with these holes cut out. And then if I show you in here, there's two little metal mounting points in here that screw into the plastic stand. And then you line these up. Let's see if I can do it. It's a little bit tricky. You line these up with the cross type keyhole mounts, like so, and then slot it into place. There we go. So that's slotted into place. And then you've still got access to all of the ports on the back. It's still got plenty of room for ventilation, and it just stands there on your desk. Now the reason, and it's not a deal breaker, but the reason I didn't like this is the way they come packed in the box. This had worked its way off of the mount. One of the mounts was loose in the box. Actually, in both boxes, the mounts were loose. I just think, one, the packaging could have been a little bit better, and also it just doesn't feel as robust as the actual router itself. I just think that it's a solution. Put it that way, it's a solution. I just think it could have been a more robust solution, but it works. You know, and once you've got it sat on your desk, you're not going to be fiddling around with it much anyway. Once it's there, it's there. And it is functional. You know, it does its job. I just would have liked to have seen maybe something a little bit more rigid and better way of packing this, instead of it being sort of loose inside the box. That said, the connectivity, extremely good. The actual way you set this up via the web browser, extremely good as well. Very, very simple to set up. And also the app, so that you can manage the devices, again, top notch. So Zyxel have done a fantastic job on the actual user experience of this. The actual coverage, this was tested in a building where we've got fairly thick walls and quite a distance between the main router and the satellite router. And again, coverage was blanket. I had no sort of weak spots in the building, and very, very robust connection, and very fast connection, especially for wireless. And then the wired worked as expected. Extremely fast gigabit Ethernet connections there. So can I recommend this? Yes, I can. Do take into account, let's just pick this one up again, do take into account, you know, they're not that large a unit to accommodate, no bigger than any normal router, and they look very nice, so you've got to accommodate these into your setup. With the stand, it makes it a lot easier, and I can certainly say that these work extremely well and come in at a very reasonable price. Now I have left links where you can pick these up for yourself down in the video description, and all I can say is if you want to switch over to a mesh Wi-Fi system, these should definitely be on your shortlist. I've also left a link down below to the Zyxel website, so you can check out these in a bit more detail. Perhaps you want to just check out some of the features I might have talked about a little bit too fast. And those links I've left to where you can pick these up, I should also mention they're affiliate links. They earn me a little bit of commission. They don't cost you a penny extra. That is it for this video. If you've got any questions at all about the Zyxel Multy Plus, please do leave them in the comment section below. They do other options as well when it comes to routers, so please do check out the rest of their range. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, all that good stuff, and have a fantastic day ahead. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in another video very soon.